Today I'm doing nails that I would be jealous of. I always have nail envy when I'm scrolling through Pinterest. A lot of the looks that I love are from Korean and Japanese nail artists, and those are the kind of products that I love to use. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone today and do some nails that would give me nail envy. So let's go do it. I really love these brown nails with the blue accent, but I can't really figure out how they got the blue to be so vibrant. Then I saw these with more of a metallic accent. I just love like the 3D elements. So I think I'm gonna try something a little bit more like that, but with the brown as the base. So this is the manicure that I need to take off, and I'm realizing now that I actually haven't posted the tutorial for that, so that'll be coming soon. I'm doing my classic rebalance process, and I'm using my e-file to remove the top layers. I actually just went to an e-file training, and here's something that I learned. I went to an e-file training class, and I learned how to hold my e-file differently. I've always held my pencils weirdly, so this is just what I was comfortable with. But in the class, they told me to choke up on the hand piece more, and then also stick my pinky out and use it as an anchor on the finger that I'm filing on. Here's an example of what I was doing before. I'm just holding the hand piece pretty far back with no anchor, and now I have my fingers closer to the actual bit, and then I stick out my pinky and hold it right on the finger that I'm filing on. With these changes, I feel like I have a lot more control with the hand piece. I feel like before I would file with short strokes, and when I hold it like this, I feel more confident in actually just going for it and taking off the layers in like one pass. Okay, let's see it in action. So I'm just filing off that little 3D bubble quickly, and then now I'm just doing a pass through my nails and literally taking off all the layers of color and getting down to my builder gel in one pass. I also just got a new bit. This is the Erica Safety Smooth Top Barrel bit in medium grit, and that really helps too because it's a nice new bit and it does a really great job at efficiently filing off the layers without having to go over my nails too much. Then once I get all the color off, I'm sort of just checking my angles, getting off little bits that are harder to reach, and rebalancing my builder gel as well. But I only had these on for a couple of days, so there really isn't too much grow out yet. And here's another look at how I'm holding the handpiece and anchoring my hand with my pinky. It's a little awkward to do on yourself with the pinky because you have to kind of contort your hands a little bit, but I really do feel like it helps me feel more sturdy. And I also feel like my nails looked more smooth after removing those layers, which means that prep will be a lot faster because there will be less surface to smooth out. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you're interested in taking my e-file class, send me a message and I will give you more information. I just feel like holding my e-file in this new way has been really comfortable, and I also got a new bit, like I said in that video, so that's making it a lot easier and quicker as well. Once I take off my art, I also like to go across my nail with my carbide bit, kind of from right to left, to smooth out any ridges and get any areas that are a little bit challenging to get when I'm going up and down. And I'm always checking my angles, especially after I take off the art, because I'm not trying to take all of my polish off. I want to leave a thin layer of my base on my nails and just prep on top of that. I have an entire video where I explain what a fill process is and why I do it, so I'll make sure to link it in the notes below in case you're interested in watching. Moving right along to cuticle prep, I start by gently pushing my cuticles back a little bit with my cuticle pusher before moving on to my precision flame bit from Erica's. My goal with this bit and this process is to lift up the cuticle pocket and gently exfoliate any skin that has grown up onto my nail. That's actually called cuticle. I'm being really gentle here because I just want to lift up the skin. I don't want to go too far. If I'm feeling any pain or discomfort, I just stop and move on. And whatever's lifted up, I use my nippers to just gently clip off. And the same thing goes here with this, where if I feel any pain or discomfort, I stop because I know I'm going too far. This process should not really feel like anything because you're really only clipping off the dead skin. It should be really dry and kind of harder to the touch, and if you feel any pain, that means that you've gone too far. To prep my surface, I just like to gently file to make sure that I'm getting off any lifted gel that might have been left behind, and also smoothing out any bumps that might be there still. I also love using the little sponge buffer to just gently rough up the surface too, which will really make sure that the gel adheres as best as possible. Before I apply any products, I will wipe my nails really well with isopropyl alcohol, and I love using this nylon brush just to brush any dust off and make sure that there's nothing left behind, just clean, dehydrated nails before I get started. One thing I've also been loving doing recently is folding up a little lint-free wipe and putting some isopropyl alcohol on it and just really scrubbing my cuticle and skin area to make sure that that's super clean and oil-free as well. Time to apply products finally. The first thing that I'm doing is using a builder base gel. This is Cocoa's Platinum Filler Base. It's a 2-in-1. Usually I will use Mega Stick Base, but I was kind of in a hurry today, so it's really nice to have these products that are 2-in-1 so that you can just skip a step. I apply this with a slip layer and then floating the bead through, and here's kind of a look at my structure. The look that I'm doing today is a bunch of layers, so I'm making sure that my builder gel layer itself is not too thick. If I did make this layer too thick, everything that I put on top of it would just continue to add bulk, which could lead to lifting, but also just really wouldn't look that nice. And this builder gel is strong enough that it makes my nails feel supported while not being super chunky and thick, which I love about it. I personally love shaping my nails after I have my builder gel on because you can just get like such a more crisp shape. And I also do a finish file at this time too, which helps prevent the builder gel from lifting. So I just wipe off the tacky layer and then I'm doing a little file kind of underneath the tip of my nail there. You can see that I'm angling the file very precisely, like 45 degrees, which will tuck my natural nail underneath my builder gel and prevent it from lifting off of my tips. Once I'm done with this, I just wipe my nails again with isopropyl alcohol to get all the dust and any oils away before I move on to the colors. I am so excited about this magnet gel. It came out last year and I didn't have the chance to use it really, and I just don't know why because it's so pretty. This is Terracotta Velvet Magnet by Cocoist, and I really like this because it has two different types of magnetic particles in it. It has really small particles which will give your nails that kind of silky look, but then it also has larger, more sparkly ones that I think actually look like crushed velvet on your nails. So I love that there's two tones to it. It gives the nails more dimension, and I really do think that they nailed it with making this look like velvet. It's just so cool. This is also very pigmented, and I feel like one coat is a very nice full coverage look. Sometimes I feel like with magnet gels you need a couple of coats. Like the manicure that I currently have on, I needed 3 coats of the magnet gel to look saturated and bright enough, but I felt like this one gave me a perfect coverage with just one coat, which I really appreciated because like I said, I'm trying not to have my nails be too thick. Also, I have to shout out the Max magnet that I'm using here. It's a very wide, like thick, heavy magnet, and I think it just does such a good job. One of my favorite things about Nuance nails are the different types of products that you use to get the art look that you're going for. So I'm not only using gel, I'm kind of mixing different products to get a unique look. So in this case, I'm using ink. This ink is very pigmented, but it's not as pigmented as some that I've tried. I feel like it sort of does have like a little sheer quality to it. I don't really have a rhyme or reason for where I'm placing this. I just want to make sure I leave some space in the middle so that the magnet gel can really shine through. And one nice thing about this is if you don't love how it looks, you can wipe it off. And it does stain a little bit, but it's not so bad that it looks really obvious, and I am putting more on top, so it didn't bother me. Once you lay down the ink, you can use a separate brush with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on it and just dab it on the ink to kind of diffuse it. I found with this process that you can diffuse it a little bit too much and it looks like there's nothing there. And again, that doesn't really matter because you can just add a little bit more ink on top of it, and I think that that actually helps because it gives your nails that sort of layered kind of natural look to it, almost like spilled watercolor paints. And I feel like it's just important to play around and kind of find what works for you and what works for the look that you're going for. I think this sort of turned out looking like tortoiseshell, and I love tortoiseshell nails, and I was very happy with this, but it did take a little bit of playing around. I did kind of love adding a little bit more ink after I diffused it with the alcohol and the separate brush because there was still a little bit of wetness on my nails and it made the ink diffuse and spread really interestingly. So just play around and I promise you'll find something that you love. Another thing I learned about inks is that you really need to give it sufficient time to dry because if it's not dry, it will smear just like normal nail polish will. And I learned that the hard way because this did happen on a couple of my nails. My tip here is to let the ink dry completely. It might take a couple of minutes, but it's worth it to not smudge it. And since they are alcohol-based inks, if you just fan your nails or use an actual fan, it will dry a lot quicker. And then also with whatever you're putting on top, use a decent amount of the product so that you're not dragging the brush through it and you can almost like float the bead through it instead. After that sheer brown layer, I used my top coat, but the footage didn't record for some reason. And then I also used Cocoist Non-Wipe Accessory Bond to attach this little gold sequins to all of my nails, which that footage also didn't record. But basically I just stuck it on my nails and cured it in place, so you didn't really miss anything. But I wanted to add a bubble on top of the sequins, which is going to help it stay in place because you do need to encase it, but the bubble kind of gives like a magnifying glass effect, and I think it looks really cool. That's also a non-wipe overlay gel, which I love and I highly recommend, and that means that I don't need to put any top coat on top of it, which is super nice. I can just do the bubble and cure it, and then it's ready to go and it's fully done. And here's the final look in a couple of different lights for you, but I absolutely love these. I think nuance nails are my new favorite nail trend because there are really no rules, and I love layering. If you've seen any of my videos recently, you know that layering is like my thing right now. The opportunities are kind of endless, and it's just giving me an opportunity to play around with some fun art gels. That's it for this video. I hope you love these nuance nails. Let me know if you have any questions, and please be sure to subscribe because I'm going to be posting more videos this month. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Bye.